Welcome to Inspiring Discussions. I'm your host, Ashley Janae, here to inspire and discuss. To Inspiring Discussions, Episode 6. I'm your host, Ashley Janae, and as usual, I want to thank God for blessing me to do another episode of Inspiring Discussions. And I want to also thank all of the listeners for tuning in to today's episode, which is going to be another awesome episode because today I have a very special guest. He's a very successful podcaster with over 100 episodes. He's a very successful music artist. He's a very successful author of the book White Lines. He's a Marine, so I salute you. And he's a very resourceful, down-to-earth individual. So please welcome Rodis from Rodis Lab to Inspiring Discussions. So how are you today?
Hey, how you doing? That's one of the best intros I ever heard in my life. I appreciate that so much. And I'm so honored to be on Inspiring Discussions.
Oh, yeah, no worries, no worries. Thank you so much for being a part of today's episode, which is consistency is key.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, so tell the listeners about yourself.
So my name is Rodis. I'm a podcaster. I'm an artist. I'm a Marine. I'm the author of the book White Lines. I'm also a father. But I love this podcast thing. I started it during the pandemic. I really didn't have any type of expectations on how it was going to do or anything like that. So currently right now, my podcast is in the top 0.5% in the world. And I was just rated on Good Pods as number 28 on the music charts and also in the top 100 for music commentary this past week. So it's all a blessing. I can't do none of this without God, but I definitely have a passion for podcasting, music, writing, everything that I do.
Yeah, but that's awesome, then. That's awesome.
And congrats to you.
So could you tell the listeners why consistency is so key?
So it's just like when you was a shorty, like when your mama tell you to go wash the dishes, the first time she teach you how to wash the dishes, you really doing it her way. But the more you wash the dishes, you develop your own method to make things easier, more efficient, and ultimately to get the dishes clean as possible. So you're going to wash the forks first, then you're going to do the plates, then you're going to do the cups, then you're going to do the bowls, and then everything else. So consistency is key because you got to get those reps in. You got to get behind the mic. Whatever you do, you got to get those reps in so you can get better and better.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So that way you could perfect it, basically.
Yes, practice makes perfect.
Yeah, that's a true saying. Now that's true. So I understand you have a lot going on for yourself. So how do you manage everything and still stay consistent at the same time?
So basically, what I do is I write things down, like the Bible say. I write things. I keep a calendar, and what I do is, since my show is a solo podcast, I do have guests from time to time, but most importantly, the episodes that I can knock out by myself, what I usually do is I write out my thoughts, and then I just knock out as many episodes as I can when I can, because I know that the episodes are coming from a place of love, a place of and I know I'm not just throwing stuff together. Also, if I have any type of guest in mind, I'll record with my guests early so we can knock things out. And, not too far apart because I don't want them waiting for months. I want things to sound fresh. But if I'm holding down my podcast by myself for Dolo and I'm sticking with the content, getting the creativity out to the people, I'm not really dependent on nobody where, I can't drop an episode this week. I'm not going to come out this week. Sorry, it ain't no episode. Now, there's nothing wrong with that because life be lifing, but for the most part, I keep a calendar. and I format things out. I sketch things out.
Yeah, I agree with you on that calendar because I have to have one too. Because sometimes it can, because with me being new to podcast, and I understand what you're saying now, you do have to definitely write things down and start at an early time. So that way things go smoother and then you will have extra time to do what you need to do.
Right. And you can have a specific thought anywhere and you could just jot it down. One thing that I do like about Spotify for podcasters, you can use your phone to
Mm-hmm.
record. So even if I'm not recording an entire episode, I on my phone and I could spit out an idea, something like that, Or I could use my notepad in my phone and I have a thought down instantaneously. So when I'm getting to the podcast, I could build off of that thought, or I could build off of that, so I
Exactly.
get some good medicine out here for the people.
Exactly. I agree because we need a lot of inspiring topics and we just need a lot of uplifting messages out here too. Because I love your show. I love the special guests you bring on there and I love the interesting topics you have. Because I know your latest episode called Kicks.
Yes.
Uh, okay, so yeah, so I will be checking out that episode pretty soon because I am a sneakerhead myself. So I
Yeah.
see, yeah.
I did kicks for the sneakerheads, and fashion is a part of hip hop. So basically, I did the top 5 shoes that grew up with hip hop, and I counted them down from 5 to 1, and I had my honorable mentions and everything, and I got some good music on there.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good. That's good. I'm looking forward to it because every episode you put out is so interesting, and it's just and you got to listen to it from beginning to end. That's what I love about it.
Yeah, I'm humbly thankful for that. And, as podcasters, it's our job to captivate the listeners as much as possible and, keep their attention as much as we can. And also get them something to inspire them, something that they with them so they can make their life better, or they could apply it to their life, or it'll get them a different perspective or view on things as opposed to them looking through their normal regular lens. They get to see
Mm-hmm.
our view, a different view. It probably wasn't presented to them or they never even thought about. They could take the good and throw away the bad and apply it to their life to make it better.
Exactly, and I love that about your podcast too. It's very relatable.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I understand that it could be a little overwhelming at times managing multiple tasks, but what advice would you give someone who's overwhelmed trying to stay consistent?
So if you overwhelmed trying to stay consistent, the most important thing to do is find some time to get you some rest. And sometimes whatever it is that you're doing, since you love it, it's automatically gonna love you back.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to walk away from it and give it a break, like anything, like with a relationship. Hey, let me give you a little air because I'm crowding your space. Hey, my blood pressure getting a little high. I'll be back to you, baby, to the podcast. If you writing a book, you know what I am. I'm going to sit these notes down. I'll be back later. We're going to get back to this.
Exactly.
If you record, hey, I'll get back in the booth. I'm just going to focus on writing right now. And then, like, whatever you working on, this is a secret of mine, too. If I put book,
Mm-hmm.
podcast, music, consultant, I put all those things in there, and then I'll pull each one out, and whatever order they fall in, I prioritize those accordingly, and then I'll work on them like that because maybe I was giving the book too much time, or maybe I wasn't giving the podcast enough time, or maybe I wasn't giving the music enough time. You definitely want to have balance.
Is that I agree because it can be overwhelming if you don't really manage your time correctly and you don't prioritize. I do see it. And then you have some people that don't know how to take a break either. They still want to go, go, go.
Right. So the best thing to do is the key to consistency is doing it while you can. So like today, we having a good discussion. I'm so honored to be on here. It's like when I get off the mic with you, I might do 2 episodes.
Wow.
Just so I can have them in a stash. I'm so motivated and inspired. We sound so good through the airwaves right now. So
Yes,
I want to.
yes, I agree. Yes, yes, because because this is my favorite part of podcasting is getting people on here. Because it is so many different views out here, and I just feel like it needs to be shared.
Exactly. Being a new podcast, I want to ask you, since you do have 2 podcasts, how's it going for you with the consistency? How you been managing this?
I've been managing the best of my ability. So what I do is I am on a bi-weekly schedule. So what I do is I always come up with my ideas. What do I want to talk about for inspiration? Do I want to talk about hustling? Do I want to talk about why you should spread more love or whatever? And then for wrestling, if I want to talk about WrestleMania, if I want to talk about a pay-per-view, it's like I write it down to be able to see, just to be able to keep that in order. And then what I do is I just start typing out my episodes because I have 2 weeks until I could release another episode. So I just give myself time, come up with them ideas and start writing it down. And then I record them the same day.
Okay, that's good. So when you have fresh ideas, do you ever think about doing any bonus episodes, or you think that's just too much?
No, I am going to be releasing some bonus episodes in the future because I know with wrestling discussions, I will be releasing a bonus episode soon. Because that is something I want to start doing, though, just to get some different ideas out there, get some different views on something. So that is definitely what I'm going to do, because I kind of did a bonus episode recently when I released the ads on both of my podcasts. So that was kind of like a bonus because nobody wasn't expecting it.
Okay, I saw you was promoting them heavily on TikTok, Instagram,
I love TikTok.
Facebook.
Yes, I mean TikTok. I think that's the best thing ever. I mean, one thing I like about TikTok is you put your stuff out there, whether it's an advertisement, whether it's a banner, or whether it's you recording yourself. Whatever you need, whatever you're doing, it gets out there. And I like you can add background music in there too to hype it up.
Right, it's so user friendly. Speaking of background music, when we gonna hear some of your music on Inspiring Discussions? Or
so yes, that's gonna be coming out soon. So I do have a demo for one song. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna really start the process of reaching out to the artists. But I'm gonna reach out to their manager. I feel like management that's where you want to go through first before you can get to the artist, because I do have some people in mind. I'm not going to say any names because I don't want to jinx anything, but I do have some people in mind that can do it. So I'm gonna definitely start that process, and I'm also working on a second demo too. So I'm gonna finish up the second demo next week and then start putting it on the market. And then I just finished up a song last night, and I'm currently working on another song. So I'm doing my thing.
Okay, so how have you been managing the music with the podcast?
Yeah, so every other week. So 1 week I just focus on a podcast and like getting my ideas, typing out everything I want to talk about or discuss. And then for the music, I either write some stuff while I'm at work, and then I just come home and write it down. And then once I have everything written, now it's time to start forming my beats too, because I am a producer as well. So that's what I do. I come up with a melody. The melody just naturally comes to me in some reason. Or if it don't, I have my guitar to kind of get a melody going. Right. And then what I do is I just write it down and I start looking for samples. Because I love the samples that they offer on Serato Studios and that they offer off of Loop Cloud. So I would definitely recommend those platforms to anyone that's new to producing, because it's really going to help you if you don't have that prior music theory knowledge. It definitely helps.
Right. So are you a self-taught guitarist?
No, I'm still learning. So I will be taking some classes pretty soon, but I do understand the strings, because with strings, I mean, they broke it down into different chords and then different letters. Like an
Okay.
acronym I always remember, it's called, this is when I first, got into it. So it's this acronym called Eddie A Dynamite, Goodbye Eddie. So, you have the E string, then you
Mm-hmm.
have the G string, the B string, and then you have a E string, and then let me see.
Goodbye,
Yep.
Eddie.
Uh-huh. So you
That
got your
sounds
E
slick.
string. Yep, it do. Your A string, your D string, and then you got your G, B, and E string again. So yeah, that's how I'm able to really distinguish the different strings and chords. So yeah, it
Okay.
has been an awesome experience though, because that is one of my dreams though, because I've been writing since 2012. But I started writing in 2010, just writing short stories. Didn't know that it was going to eventually lead into me writing music lyrics. But see, I was going through some stuff in 2012, and I will
Mm-hmm.
be doing an episode in the future about that. So, and I just
Okay.
needed something to really take my mind off of stuff. So, writing music was my escape. It was my therapy and my sanctuary.
That's what's
Yeah.
up.
So, the
Since we
first song,
talking about consistency, long as you being consistent.
that's it. That's true. That's true. And then it has to be something you're passionate with doing. I love music. I love podcasting, all of that stuff. I love. So that's why I've just been staying consistent. And it was great that you was able to come along too to talk about consistency as well. So that way the viewers can get a view on consistency in two ways.
Right.
Yeah, so yeah, everything is coming along. I feel very confident, and then pretty soon you will be hearing some stuff.
That's what's up. What's some of the challenges you've been having since you've been podcasting?
I would probably have to say editing. When I first started with podcasting, I had to learn editing. I
Right.
had to learn how to do it on Anchor. It was called Anchor at the time before it became Spotify for podcasters.
Right.
So I tried to do it off Audacity, but it wasn't working. So I had to
Right.
learn how to edit on Anchor at the time. So yeah, that was probably about the only challenge. That was the editing. But now I have that down packed because I also educate myself with YouTube Academy. So
Right.
yeah, that's what I've been doing. But yeah,
Okay.
that's probably the only challenge I could think of. Is probably with editing.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know every time I hear wrestling discussions or inspiring discussions, I'll be like, man, this is a good episode. And as a listener, sometimes we could get, a little spoiled, a little
Mm-hmm.
demanding. I'm like, dag, I heard an episode. I didn't hear an episode. So by you coming out with them bi-weekly, when you drop your bonus, you letting the listeners know that it was a big
Mm-hmm.
help. Do you drop wrestling discussions and inspiring discussions on the same week, or one week do you drop wrestling discussions and then one
Uh-huh.
week inspiring discussions?
So I do it the same week. So since I'm on that bi-weekly basis, when that week comes up, when it's time to release, I release both of them at the same time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because
Ha-
it's like you don't want to do that. I mean that's just my opinion. I probably wouldn't want to do it one by one because I don't want to forget anything. So that's why it's just best for me that I just release it all at the same time.
Right. Because if you did inspiring discussions one week and wrestling discussions one week, people will get you all month and it'll still be bi weekly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that could definitely be. Yeah, that could definitely work too. But I guess with me being busy with the music too, that's why I kind
Right.
of like, yeah, I need that 1 week to do podcasts, and I just need that 1 week to do music.
That's
So
what's
yeah.
up.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, it has been very convenient too, and that's one thing I love about podcasting. It just gives you so many options, whether you want to go weekly, whether you want to go bi-weekly, monthly, quarterly, whatever you want to do.
Well, I'm going to tell you right off the bat, shout out to you for being a new podcaster with 2 shows. That's a big feat in itself. And both episodes and shows be banging.
I appreciate it. I thank you so much because I just try to do.
Right. Well, it definitely
Yeah, 'cause
shows in the work.
Yeah, yeah. You got to keep on putting it out because I said it too in the purpose. That was the first episode of Aspiring Discussions. I just said, if I ever wanted to start a podcast, which I just went on ahead and did it, I said I wanted to talk about inspiration, and I knew with my second one it had to be about one of my first loves, which was wrestling. Because if you listen to the first episode of Wrestling Discussions, I'm going to really give you a detailed intake on how I got into the WWEs.
That's what's up.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do a quick card right now. Your heavyweight champion against Mines. Your US champion, your tag team against mine.
Okay. So I would have to say my heavyweight, I'm gonna pick the Undertaker first.
Okay. I like the bad guy, so
You
I
like
gotta
the
go.
heels.
I gotta go with Ric Flair.
Okay, the Undertaker versus Ric Flair. Well, it happened at WrestleMania 18, so we kind of saw what happened.
I didn't get to see it. I wasn't privy. Could you let me and your listeners know who got banged?
Yeah, the Nature Boy got banged. That was when the Undertaker was still on his undefeated streak, so he wasn't going. He wasn't going that year. And then he was American. He was American Badass Undertaker too, so he wasn't going. So yeah, that was a good match though, and that was back in 2002. So wow, just think that was over 20 years ago.
Okay, let's go Intercontinental Champion.
Okay, IC Champion. I'm gonna have to go with Chris Jericho.
I gotta go with the late great Chris Benoit.
Oh wow, that's a tough one. There was rivalries at one point.
Man, Chris Benoit, boy, he will snap suplex the dog out of you.
Yes, he would. He would, and yes, and I definitely missed that move, the crippler crossface. That dude will put that hold on you, and wasn't nobody getting out of that. If Triple H couldn't get out of it at WrestleMania 20, then wasn't nobody else gonna get out of it. And then I used to miss the diving headbutts he used to do, and also the sharpshooters he used to do because he was Canadian.
Right. Exactly.
So yeah, and then I heard his son is now wrestling.
Oh wow, I gotta tap in. I've been out the loop.
Oh yeah, definitely. You gotta get back in. But yeah, but I think he may be on AEW because due to the circumstances of what happened back in 2007, I don't think the WWE is going to really allow him to wrestle under that.
It might be too much insurance.
That's true. Yeah, so they don't. I guess they probably looking at him as a liability or whatever. But but I look like he's gonna shine on AEW, and then you got Chris Jericho over on AEW. So since Chris knew his father very well, I feel like he would help mentor him and get him to where he needs to be.
Right. Okay. Let's go tag team.
Tag team. So let me see. I'm gonna choose the Hardy Boys. That's one of my all-time favorite tag teams.
Okay, I'm gonna go with the Hart Foundation. Bret Hart and the Anvil.
Oh yeah, well you already know the Hart Foundation will take care of them. I already know that. I don't even have to do too much thinking on that. I already know.
Okay, that's what's up.
Yeah, and you know what? They just made it into the Hall of Fame. I want to say that was probably 2 or 3 years ago.
Oh snap!
So yes, but I'm just waiting on the Hardys to go into the Hall of Fame because they did pave the way for the tag teams you see today. Like you see the Street Profits, you see the Viking Raiders, and then you see all these other teams. They paved the way for these tag teams. So I just think they need to be in the Hall of Fame because I know the Dudley Boys made it a few years ago, and now they just need to get Edge and Christian, and they need to get the Hardy Boys because if you look at WrestleMania 17. WrestleMania 18 and SummerSlam 2000, them guys put their bodies through a lot just to entertain the fans. They pretty much created the TLC matches. If you once you think of TLC, you're gonna automatically think of the Hardys, Edge and Christian, and you're gonna think of the Dudley Boys.
Okay.
So I would love to hopefully see the Hardys in the Hall of Fame one day, and Edge and Christian. Because they had some brutal matches.
Right. So if you had a stable, who would you want to manage your stable?
Okay.
I'm gonna go with James J. Dillon.
Okay.
Great.
You know what? I would have to go with Miss Elizabeth on the female side because she was one of the greatest managers of all time, in my opinion.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I like Slick too. Slick was cold. Ted
Oh yeah.
DiBiase manager Slick. I
Uh-huh.
don't know. They done ran the pimps out of wrestling, huh?
Oh yeah, but yeah, I missed the Godfather though. But you know what's funny though? He was on Raw. They had did the 30th anniversary for Monday Night Raw back in January. So
Mm-hmm.
Godfather did show up though. I just wish they would have had him come out to the entrance he used to come out with.
Right.
Man, they used to talk about the Soul Train line, but I think it was called the Whole Train line.
Oh snap!
So
That's
yeah,
funny.
yeah, I know. So man, that's so those were some memories there. Now you said so. Did you say something about the U.S. Championship now?
We could do U.S. champion.
Okay. Let me see. I would have to say John Cena.
Oh yeah, John Cena Cole.
Oh yeah, man. Yep. I remember he turned the championship into a spinner.
I'm gonna have to go with Batista.
Okay, Batista, yeah. I think Cena will bring it to him though, because I think if I'm not mistaken, they fought before. I want to say that was back in 2009, 2010, and it was at the point when Batista was trying to go into acting at this point.
Oh, okay. So he got beat out
Mm-hmm.
of wrestling.
Yeah, so yeah, I remember that he was in a wheelchair and everything. He gonna say something, I'll quit. And after that, that was it. I think he started just doing acting and stuff like that. But I heard he doing good on Guardians of Galaxy though. That's pretty much his
Oh
movie.
yeah, shout out to the Guardians of the Galaxy because
Yeah.
they one of the most underrated groups. It's a band of miss got the gel that just work.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I agree. And then he got this new movie out too. I forgot the name of it, but it's basically a movie about they have to sacrifice people so the world won't come to an end. I don't know the name of the
Mm,
movie, but yeah, it looked interesting. So I have to see if it's on HBO Max, or you know how they put movies in the red box now.
right, that sound kind of dope. I wonder, can you suggest certain sentences? I got some, but I won't mention them on your show.
Right. That'd be too deep there. Yeah, but yeah, though, but yeah, I enjoy that though. So again, congrats for having for doing over 100 episodes of Riders Live, and then I know it took a
Thank
lot
you.
of consistency to accomplish that goal. So,
Right.
what advice would you give to anyone that wants to start a podcast and release over 50 episodes?
What I would do, because I wish I had known this before I actually started.
Mm-hmm.
I would do like maybe a promo run, like probably go on maybe like 5 podcasts first,
Okay.
so people will know me. But even before that, I'm gonna just back it up and reel it in. I
Mm-hmm.
will record 6 episodes to have in a stash, so in case I have an off week, in case you know I can't think of no content or something like that, I
Mm-hmm.
already have an episode. I need a break or something like that. I have 6 episodes in the stash. Um, I will try to go on at least 5 podcasts so people,
Mm-hmm.
they can know me, or I'll jump on people's lives who already got podcasts so they fans know me, and I'll just make my rounds so they could be on the lookout, and I'll be pumping my first episode. My episode drop May. Woo, woo, woo. My
Mm-hmm.
podcast drop May. Woo, 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 woo. And I want to tell podcasters that it's okay to take breaks. If you got to take a break, you just tell your listeners, like, hey, I'm taking a break.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be off this month. So communication is the key. Understanding is the best thing you can have. As long as you tell your listeners, like, man, I'm going to be off for a month. But during I'll drop a bonus episode every week just so I keep them engaged. You know what I mean? And
Mm-hmm.
right before I come back, I do a bonus episode with all of the stuff that I have in store. And,
Mm-hmm.
I have those things in place. But during that time when you take your break, record maybe 10 episodes if you can, so you could be ahead of the game. And if you feel like making something fresh, you can.
Exactly.
If you don't feel like making nothing fresh, you already have some in the refrigerator. You could pull out an apple. You can make a smoothie. You can make some tacos. You could do whatever you
Mm-hmm.
need to do.
That's true. And then you get them bonus episodes out too.
Right. And one more thing. Promote
Mm-hmm.
on TikTok.
Yep.
Promote on Instagram. Promote on Facebook. Promote in the stories. Have some music or some audio of your episode so people can hear you. And that's what I advise. And put a little marketing dollar so people can know you. It's
I agree.
okay to have organic growth and paid growth. Your
Mm-hmm.
podcast is an investment. There's nothing wrong with paying somebody to podcast in front of a whole nother level of listenership. There's nothing
Mm-hmm.
wrong with that. Everybody promote. When you watch
Exactly.
TV, you see a McDonald's commercial. You see Burger King.
Mm-hmm.
You see your favorite liquor. You see your favorite pizza. They market. So
Yep.
market your podcast. I don't care if it's $20, $50 a month, $100 a month. You'll definitely get back in what you put out, especially when you're doing the work and being consistent as you are.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah, that's so true too. And then I was gonna say with that marketing situation, I would advise new podcasters to go to Teesprings and start getting some merchandise made. Make your own merchandise to make it known. Because when you do get on these interviews and they do have the video camera on you, wear your gear. Show people what you are made of, whether it's a hat, a t-shirt, coffee mug, whatever it is. Let it be known who you are and what your brand represents.
Exactly, because I have on an Inspiring Discussions t-shirt and hat right now. Even though y'all can't see it, I'm rocking it.
Oh yeah, I appreciate that. And I do have that awesome book, White Lines. So I will recommend anybody to get that book.
Where can they get it?
Amazon.
You know what? I'm gonna pay you for an ad. Don't worry
Mm.
about it.
Oh yeah, yeah, that'd be appreciated because I would know how to sell it and stuff like that. But yeah, that's just basically what I would advise too for anyone, just to get yourself out there. And
Yeah.
yeah, so yeah, that and then the way technology is now, it's so easy to network and market stuff now, and I'm learning that.
Right. Networking is the key. Your network is your net worth.
Mm-hmm. That's so true because you got so many podcasters out here. And then of course you could be a special guest, and I'm sure you mentioned it. You could be a special guest on their podcast as well, or you could offer them to be a guest on your podcast.
Exactly. It's enough ears for everybody.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, that's so true. So anyway, I was saying earlier that White Lines, that is a very great book. And then how did you just stay consistent with writing that book?
So I was like, I'm gonna write a book,
Uh-huh.
and it's good when you have motivation and support. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just take times to write the book. The whole process took maybe like 3 weeks, but
Mm-hmm.
I wrote it in increments. So it
Okay.
took maybe like about 3 months for me to finish it.
Mm-hmm.
And it was kind of quick, and I was kind of overthinking it, but some just said put it out, and I did. I went on other podcasts to market the book. I
Mm-hmm.
appreciate everybody who purchased a copy as well as yourself.
Oh yeah, no worries.
It's available on Amazon.com. But the
Mm-hmm.
thing about it is, I made the book to inspire people, to get
Mm-hmm.
them something that, their friends probably won't tell them. It's all about motivation, positivity, and
Mm-hmm.
it's things that you need to hear that people won't tell you or people won't say, but you need it.
That's so true. And that's what's wrong with the world now, I feel, in my opinion. And I think I may have said it in part in episode 1. It's not a whole lot of inspiration out here like it needs to be. And I just felt like, I feel like if inspiration travels everywhere, then everybody would be more inspired. It won't be so much hatred out here. It'd be more love out here if it was more inspiration.
Right. Well, you definitely inspiring with this podcast.
Yes, I appreciate it too, because you just never know the type of day somebody's having. And then once they hear something uplifting, now it's going to give them a different view of life now.
Right. It changed the whole trajectory of everything.
Because you got so many people going through so much out here. And then, mental illnesses is real too. So that's why it's so important. I feel like spreading inspiration is the key though.
I agree 100%.
Yep, I agree. So you are an artist, and then you have your hits out there like Sunflower Seeds, Ceasefire. That's my cut there. I love the video too. Ceasefire, Nevermind, 3-Piece Spicy, and many more. So like, how did you stay consistent with those projects? Because I know you have to write it, produce it, perform it, and then you do a music video.
Right. So actually, I was listening to my first album, The Hunt Side, and people was listening to the songs like they was new.
Right.
And they was just like amazed at the things that I was saying. I can't believe that I said some of those bars or made some of the songs, but when I look back, I'm appreciative that, my music is not outdated. So when I record an album, I do them like in quarters. So with the first album, I really didn't know what I was doing, but I did have an idea because me and my buddy did an EP. I didn't know how to market it at the time because when my first album came out, it was hard finding a director for a video. It was hard to get your stuff mastered and all that. But the most difficult thing at the time was finding beats. You'll go to somebody crib to listen to beats. They smoking weed and drinking, and you'll listen to about 20 beats and they'll only have 2 good ones. So you know what? Okay, I'm gonna take those 2.
Right.
And then you have to appreciate that process over again. And it was well worth it. And made myself, and I don't regret nothing that I did, because when I was doing all the ground work and leg work, making those projects, those fans are still with me today. My work wasn't done. Like when I come out with something, they come find me. Like I got a good core fan base, and I appreciate that. Like I was playing my latest album, which is called Riders. It got Nevermind on that. I got 10-Piece Spicy. I got a song called The Edge with Cormega. I got a song called Kings. I got Acknowledge the God with Fashion. I strategically got those features because I got an East Coast artist that I respect. Cormega, that's Nas' boy off Illmatic. That he was shouting out in jail. Fashion, he a spitter from the West Coast. And then like my song Kings, I got people on a song that I felt was just as good or better than me. Because it's all about making the best song. It's not about no ego. And then shout out to my boy BC. We did a song called Player Talk.
That's good. That's good. It's all about staying humble too. I mean, the key is just to have fun doing this.
Right.
Yep, and making sure you work with the right people too, and you stay dedicated to your supporters. You're gonna be great.
Right, and you got to market. So one thing that I do that a lot of artists don't do, like I don't toot my own horn. So when if I come out with a single, I send a single out to get reviewed. I want to see what the writers and the critics got to say. I want to test it so I could get their honest opinion. And one thing that I can say by doing that is I have got honest feedback every time I send my album in. And I appreciate that, and I use that for press. And when I come out with an album, I do everything that the majors do. I do a press release, I do shows, I do my own tours. I haven't been on tour in a minute, but I think I'm and be on the
Oh,
road in August.
that'd be cool. So have you thought about the first state you're gonna go to, or you just gonna start off in the Chi first?
Yeah, I'm gonna start out in a shot. I might do 10 dates, so I'm definitely
Okay.
gonna do the Midwest, and then I'm gonna probably just do some one-offs, which is one show every 2 weeks or something like that. But when I go on the road, I'm gonna dots. When I go out, I'm gonna stay out so I could get that bread. You know,
I agree with you. And then, so what is some of your favorite cities to go to perform?
I like Philly.
Uh-huh.
Milwaukee is one of my biggest markets. I like Detroit. Matter of
Okay.
fact, I just got an inbox from Dave's Loaf. I don't know if I told you that.
Yeah, you did.
So Dave's Loaf inboxed me, so I'm contemplating doing something with Dave. I'm a fan of her because she spit hard. So I like Michigan. I like Milwaukee. I like Philly. I like New York. I like Florida. I like St. Louis. I like
Mm-hmm.
Minnesota. Man, I just like any place that they had me. Like, I was offered to go on tour with Mobb Deep or AZ, but the time wasn't conducive to my schedule, so I didn't get to do it.
Oh wow.
But I was offered to either go with AZ, go open up for AZ or open up for Havoc from Mobb Deep and Big Noise. Shout out to them and Clockwork Music for extending um that invitation to me.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good. That's good. And then any other future collabs you're gonna do?
So basically, when I'm doing the music, I just go off the music. Like, as I'm working on an album, I record maybe 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 songs, and I'll be like, okay, maybe I need this or maybe I need that. But um, my last few albums, I always do the features first because I
Mm-hmm.
wanna I don't wanna infringe on nobody's time.
Oh
And
yeah.
I want to get people, based on their availability, so everything will work out smooth. But I think on this album, I think I'm gonna go dolo. I think I'm gonna just do 10 on this one.
Okay, well that'd be cool then. That'd be cool. So
Hmm.
yes. Now, do you have any dream like future collabs?
Man, do a song with, I want to do a song with Nas.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Let me see who else. Maybe Nas, Currency. That's it. Nas, Currency, and I'm thinking about doing some with Reese. Shout out to Reese.
Oh, okay.
I was supposed to do a song with her, but COVID happened.
Oh
But
yeah.
she was with it. I still got that track, but I might reach out to Reese and see if we could get it done.
Oh, okay. And I'm sure it's gonna happen. I'm sure.
Yeah.
Now, any singers you would like to collaborate to be featured on one of your songs?
Right. So right now, it's a up and coming singer named Nico.
Okay, okay,
She's like a inspirational and gospel artist,
okay,
and she got some bangers. Like, I've been hearing her stuff, but it's not out yet because she don't want to present it to the world yet. I
okay.
don't know if I'm out of bounds by saying this, but she dope, and I got her enlisted for my album, and the little girl on Sunflower Seeds, she grown now.
Uh-huh.
Her name La Cherie, and she got this song called What's Right.
Okay.
what's right. And I listen to it every morning. Like I listen to it, I'm like, I don't got it on my Spotify. I don't got it, it's not out yet, but
Mm-hmm.
I listen to it. It's a hit too. Both of the songs is hit. Like Nico got multiple hits. Like the world, they ain't ready for her, and they ain't ready for love. When she sung that hook on Sunflower Seeds, she was only like 12 years old, but
Oh yeah, and she killed that too. I love her voice.
yeah, and she write and she direct videos as well too. So shout out to La Cherie, aka Lala, and shout out to Nico.
All right, that's awesome. So that song by Lala, is that on all streaming platforms?
It's not out yet. They just
But
sent it to me like, hey, listen to this. How does it
okay.
sound? What you think?
Oh, okay, okay. Well, I'm sure it's dope though.
It's dope. It's
Like,
different. Both of the songs are different. They don't sound like nothing out.
oh, okay. Well, that's good. That's good. And anything you do before you perform?
I pray. I don't
Yep.
drink. I don't smoke. I just make sure I have water, and I always look at the crowd. So
Mm-hmm.
if people go on before me, I pay attention to the crowd. I don't. I don't have a lot of people on the stage with me. I just go on the stage by myself so I can make sure I tear it down.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I try to put the best performance on that I can.
Yep, that's so true too. That's true. And it's like when you see that crowd, it's gonna hype you up.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
So I've done over 500 shows, and I'm still nervous every time I get on the stage. But once you grab the mic, it's like your superpower come on.
Exactly. That's so true. It's like that adrenaline getting you.
Yeah, it's nothing like seeing a response of the crowd.
Mm-hmm.
And once you get on there, you don't want to get off. But
Right. But it's like you got to share the stage.
yes.
Yeah. So I understand that. Yep. And then how do you prepare for a tour?
So what I do is like, since independent artists, most of the artists on labels and things like that,
Mm-hmm.
they usually get booked. They privy to a lot of the spots opposed to you. So what I do is I look at the analytics on my Spotify streams first to see where I'm popping. Wherever I got the most streams and wherever my audience is, that's where I go. And I reach out to venues, and then people reach out to me as well, but I don't wait for that. I reach out to the venues, and they want to see my Spotify streams, or I send them my video, and they'll be like, hey, what day you want? You know?
Mm-hmm.
It's simple as that, because once they see you actually performing and see the streams and the comments and everything like that, numbers don't lie.
Yeah, that's so true. Especially when you see them, you look at your analytics and you see all them high numbers. Now it just really makes you want to continue to do what you've been doing.
Right. And since I have a history of doing shows, I have relationships with a lot of venues everywhere. So
And that's good too. And that's the key to being in the music industry. It's very best to have healthy relationships with people you work with.
yes, it is.
Yeah, because you
And one
just never know.
you never know. And one thing about my podcast, I got over 200,000 streams. So I got an audience where I could, tour my book. I got an audience where I could tour my music, and I got an audience where I could do live shows, podcasting.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking about setting up something in Chicago where, podcasters can share the stage and they could come on and, give a sample of their show, sell merch, get new listeners and everything. Cause I'm all about unity.
Yeah, I agree. And that's a very great idea too. To really help somebody really elevate themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It don't cost nothing to share.
No, it don't because it's not. I mean, because you would want to receive help the same way too.
Exactly. But
So.
everybody built different. Not you,
Mm-hmm.
but some people, they don't think that's true, but you know, you do what you feel in your heart. That's the best thing for you as well as everybody else.
Exactly, because at the end of the day, you just want to make yourself known to the public who you are.
Yeah, and you want to present yourself accordingly.
Yep. Because I
You know.
believe in that saying, your first impression is your last impression.
Yes.
Yeah. So you don't want to get up there any kind of way. You just want to get up there ready to go, ready to do what you do.
Exactly.
Yeah. So tell the listeners what happens when you are not consistent.
When you're not consistent, first of all, you don't want to pump on your audience. That's what
Yep.
you don't want to do. Like I have shows that I love. I love shows. So
Mm-hmm.
prime example, I didn't know Inspiring Discussions was a bi-weekly show. I didn't know Wrestling Discussions was a bi-weekly show. Like I mentioned earlier, I was getting
Mm.
mad. I was big mad. Like, oh, well, what? Why ain't no episode this week?
Right. Yeah.
But I didn't know. So once
Mm-hmm.
you told me and you informed me that it was weekly, you know, now I know how to wait patiently, you know,
Mm-hmm. Well,
and
that's good.
absorb
That
them.
make me feel good though.
Yeah, so what I do is I listen to Inspiring Discussions one week, and then I listen to Wrestling Discussions another week. So that way I listen to you all month. So every
Mm-hmm.
week I get something from you.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying?
Uh-huh. And I did set it up for subscribers too. Anybody that want to subscribe to it.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's another way to really get yourself out there is the subscribers
So where do they subscribe to your podcast?
on Spotify.
Okay. What's the link?
The I don't know it by heart, but I did but it is in the description box.
Okay. So
So
you okay. That's what's up. It's in the show notes.
uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I know they be having so many symbols and lines on there. I'm like, wait a minute. But
I
it does
know.
lead to where it needs to lead though.
Right. Which is growth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's so true. And that's one thing I love about the technology now. It's giving you that it's just helping you out with with promoting yourself.
Right. Yeah. But like you said, the key is consistency because the more you get behind the mic, the better your show get, the better you
Mm-hmm.
get. Like you sound like a professional, but you articulate. You are a professional. You articulate. You know how to get your point across, and you're a good host.
Oh
Shout
yeah, I
out to
appreciate.
you.
Yeah, I appreciate it. This one guy asked, did you go to college?" I'm like, "No, I didn't go to a university or college. It's just the way that I speak." And then, it is a dictionary out there to expand your vocabulary.
Yes,
Yeah,
and
but
one
I took that as a compliment.
right because you never say like when I edit my podcast. Sometimes I do be laxed a lot, but the best thing to do is so there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, yeah, that is so true. That's so true. So, any other advice you want to give the listeners on consistency?
Consistency is key. Keep listening to Inspiring Discussions and Wrestling Discussions on a bi-weekly basis. And if you would like to listen to my podcast, which is Rada's Live Podcast, it's also available on Spotify for podcasters, but it's on all streaming platforms. But my website is www.radisonline.net/podcast. And you can find me on all streaming platforms. The Real Rodis on Instagram, TheRealRodes on Instagram, or just follow my linktree/ROD. Got all my links in there.
All righty, all right. And you know what's so funny? I look at it 2 years ago. I appeared on Rodis Live as the chef, and then it's like 2 years later, around this time, now you on my podcast.
Man, it's an honor. It's
Yeah,
an honor to be on here with the chef.
yeah. You never know. I do a episode about it too. about how to survive on maybe $25 a week or something, and how to make meals out of that.
That is dope.
Yeah, you never know, because I mean, with this inflation going on and stuff like that, you got to know how to survive out here.
You do. And you know what's one of my go-to foods that I love? It might sound crazy. I love avocados with a little cumin,
Uh-huh.
a little salt and some lemon and some tahini.
Yeah.
Man, listen.
Mm-hmm.
I love avocado.
Yeah, I do too. And yeah, especially when it's made into guacamole, I love it.
Yes.
Yeah, especially get you some chips and dip, you good. And you know what else is good to me? Nacho cheese Doritos with guacamole.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, that's
You're
a
making me
go-to.
hungry. You're
Right.
making me hungry. Not hungry. Hungry.
I know. But yeah, it's just like, wow, it's just gonna show you anything is possible.
Yes. But one thing I do want to say is, shout out to you. You're not just behind the mic just doing something. You podcasting with a purpose, and I salute you.
Oh yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you, and shout outs to you too. And then thank you for that episode of your podcast, Good Pods, giving me shout outs on my podcast and other people's podcasts too.
That's what's up.
Yeah, I appreciate it, because that's what it's all about, just informing and growing.
Yes.
Yeah, because it's so important to make yourself known.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. So now this is the fun part here. This is called Would You Rather. So I'm just gonna ask a question, and you just answer it with what you would rather do.
Okay, this is dope.
All right. So so you got Riders Live out right now. So if these people were alive to this day, would you rather interview Tupac or Biggie on your podcast?
I would rather interview Pac.
I figured you was gonna say that.
Yeah, man, I love Pac. We got a lot in common, and
yes,
I think our personalities are similar.
Yes, I mean, yes.
But like from the first impression, I might come off as quiet or whatever, but I can turn up like Pac. But I'll be reserved
Yeah,
for the most part.
Yeah, because him and Biggie are definitely legends, though. And they did pave the way for the rappers of this era. So it's like you do wonder, like, what if they were still alive? What would they be doing?
Oh man, I'm appreciative to all of this new rap, but some of these dudes, they wouldn't have saw the light of day with Pac out. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, I agree. Because one thing about Pac and Biggie, they were great storytellers.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I thought about doing a double CD. I still might do it because I'm independent, and that's always an option. And I think that his double CD is one of the best.
Oh yeah.
So like Tupac, Nas, Jay-Z, and Biggie, people always ask, who the best. So going off of the double CDs, I think that Biggie's double CD is the best because it's a theme behind it, and he had people from everywhere, and he stepped out of his element, with the people he collaborated with. He introduced us to the Lox, and I think that it was a masterful piece of work. All Eyes on Me. Shout out to Tupac, since he did the double CD first. I remember in the Marines when it came out, my guy was like, "Man, Tupac got a double CD." I was like, "Man, I think I was on light duty or something." But he got All Me for Me. He got Nas and some more CDs. The internet went out at the time, and I got to listen to All Eyes on Me on both discs. And what a lot of people don't know, that song with Method Man, Redman, Das, and Corrupt, and Tupac, Inspector Deck was supposed to be on there, and Inspector Deck, he got his verse on YouTube. So y'all y'all go look up I Got My Mind Made Up and Expect the Deck. I think he wasn't on that song because he bodied everybody on that bitch.
Mm-hmm.
So had the best double, then Tupac, then Nas, because Nas, he held it down for Dolo. I think the only rap feature he had on there was Ludacris. That's it. And Quan with the singing. It was like a grown up version of a double CD. It's called Street's Disciple. And Jay-Z, he got the least best double CD. He had Too Short on there, Dr. Dre. Even with all those people on that, it was a bust to me. It was a dud. So
yes, and they were very dedicated to what they did too. Because one thing I could say about Tupac, Change This will always be my all-time favorite song by him. But in general, that's gonna always be my all-time favorite song, because the stuff he's talking about, it's like it's still happening. And man, I learned that he recorded that song back in 1992. And then over 30 years later, it's still it make a lot of sense. And you seeing the stuff in the song.
Right. A lot of times when you record music and you do it from your heart, it's timeless. Like any of my albums, you could put them on and they don't sound dated. So I think I'm just blessed.
Yeah, yes, definitely. And I guess with Biggie, my all-time song would have to be Juicy by him. And I love that collab he did with Bone Thugs and Harmony, Notorious Thugs. That's gonna always be a classic.
Man, when I heard that, I was like, damn.
Yeah.
And then when I heard the Long Kiss Goodnight, that was cold with the locks on there. And Kicking the Door. Man, come on.
Yeah, like these guys were definitely storytellers.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, like, and you could really feel Tupac. Okay, yeah, I'd rather, Tupac.
Yeah,
is there any more?
Oh yeah. Well, it's actually a different topic though. But yeah, rest in peace to Tupac and Biggie, definitely.
Yeah.
Okay, so since you are a Marine, so would you rather do push-ups or chin-ups?
Woo! I think I'd rather do push-ups.
Yeah.
Regular push-ups or Marine push-ups.
See, I didn't know it was a difference.
So regular push-ups is you go down, you come up, that's one. But Marine push-ups, you got to do 3 before you do 1.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking. Okay, got you.
1, 2, 3, 1. I'd rather do Marine Corps push-ups than chin-ups.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow. All right. Okay. Now I heard you make a mean macaroni and cheese.
Yes.
So would you rather use spiral noodles or elbow noodles?
Elbow.
Okay. Yeah. You know what? It's like spiral just give it a nice presentation though.
Right. It definitely looks good for the plating. Yeah. Would you care to hear my big macaroni and cheese recipe?
All right. If you want to share it, go for it.
Okay. I use Velveeta cheese, Munster cheese, pepper jack, mild cheddar, and sharp cheddar.
Okay.
And I use eggs and pat milk. And I bake it in the oven, no stovetop. I bake it in the oven for 45 minutes on 350. Take it out, let that thing sit. Bam!
Got some macaroni and cheese.
Yes.
Yes, and I love it when you first pull it out using the spatula. You see all that cheese come out.
Ooh, yeah.
That's like the best part. And then when you think, and then now that we're talking about macaroni and cheese, it's funny because I never forget one time my grandma told me a story because she told me that somebody catered to the building she lived in, and they said she said when they bought that macaroni and cheese and it was all watery and stuff. I'm like,
everybody can't cook.
No, they can't.
Especially people who don't taste their food. So there you go.
Yeah, that was just funny how she broke it. And my grandma Taurus, so you know what comes in
Oh
is
yeah,
coming out. She gonna say how she feels. She
yeah,
said, "What the?" She said that nasty ass macaroni and cheese, all watery, and thinking I'm gonna eat that.
your grandmama was a good friend.
Oh yeah, yeah. And you know she from the South too, so she know how stuff should be looking.
Exactly.
Yeah. Then she said, and then she said the dressing. They had dressing there too. She said it looked like some dog food.
Oh wow.
So I was like, man. So since we was on that topic about mac and cheese, that memory just came to me.
Yeah, I ain't mad at you.
All right, yeah, all right. So now we kind of back into the music category. So would you rather listen to New Edition or Boys to Men?
New Edition.
Yeah, it's like it's tough though, because I mean they so similar though with New Edition and Boys to Men.
Yeah, Boys to Men is good, but New Edition, I thought I was Ralph.
Oh yeah, yeah. I think I mean you did an episode of your podcast. Wasn't it called The Beatles?
Yeah, so I wanted to, throw people off.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody liked the Beatles, but everybody loved New Edition. That episode did numbers.
I know
I
it
didn't
did.
I didn't want to spin people off, and I actually did play the Beatles on there. So
Mm-hmm.
you know, I I wanted to give people the best of both worlds, and I ain't, you got to be creative with this thing. You gotta think of different ways to get people to click on your stuff. So
Yeah, I agree. I agree. But my favorite songs by New Edition would have to be because I know they was before my time, but as you get older, your parents play that stuff nonstop. But
right,
definitely if it is in love and Can You Stand the Rain, that's my top two by them.
yeah, they good. But the first two songs that made me fall in love with them is Candy Girl,
Mm-hmm.
Cool It Now, and Mr. Telephone Man. Not because the songs was good, because I saw the video. And that's one thing as an artist, like
Mm-hmm.
people want to see you.
Mm-hmm.
So if they see your video a video is excellent promotion to get people to request you to do shows,
Mm-hmm.
and also to turn people onto your music.
Yep, I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, those are definitely legend groups there. Yeah,
Hmm.
and then the movie was pretty good too. Did you see? I think didn't they break it down into three parts?
Yeah, they did.
Okay, yeah, that was a very great movie about New Edition though. But I wonder are they gonna ever do one about Boys to Men? I feel like they can get a biography.
Yeah, they can. They can.
Yep, I agree. All right, so would you rather use a Walkman or a boombox to listen to your music,
Oh wow. My music specifically, or any music.
or just any music? And,
Um
and it can be yours too.
so I'm kind of private. So
Mm.
but I cut a lot of hair, so boombox.
Oh yeah, yeah. Because I had saw this one guy recently with a boombox. I'm like, man. And then he had and he had a lot of good music playing with it too.
And see, that's what's up. Like the new
Mm-hmm.
thing is listening to vinyl. Vinyl is the stuff.
Is that? Yep. I heard about vinyl too.
It's
Cause
a
you
whole
still.
di- it's a whole different listening experience.
Mm-hmm.
So like when I even though I'm independent, I always at least press up
Mm-hmm.
100 pieces of vinyl.
Exactly. Yep.
So that's what I
Because that's
do.
that's that's classic there.
Hmm.
Yeah. So now you have performed as an artist in California and Florida.
Florida and California one time,
Oh, okay. So
but Florida multiple times.
oh, okay. So would you rather perform there in Florida or would you rather perform in California?
Um, Shout out to my homie, the Uncle Dolomite of the Too Much Game podcast.
Mm-hmm.
He be sharing my show. I share his show. I'm an avid listener of the Too Much Game podcast. So I think he could help me getting people to come out to my show. And by me doing a show with Fashion, he can help me get some out there. But one thing as an independent artist, you do a lot of work, but the reward is bigger. So, so Cali.
Yeah, because I only been there one time though. I had went to Venice Beach.
Oh
Yeah, that's real nice. San Diego, Hollywood,
me too.
and LA, Long Beach. But you
San
know what?
Diego got good fish tacos.
Oh yeah, I can imagine. And it's so chilled there in San Diego too.
Yeah, they got guys with muscle shirts, skating and hooping. They got attractive women walking on a beach, and who want to fight? Who want to mess that up?
Yeah, but I could never live there, but I could always visit there.
Right. Yeah, the cost of living probably out the roof right now.
I'm sure it is. I heard that gas prices is higher than $5.
Yeah, I don't know if it's safe to talk about anything political on your show.
Oh yeah. So yeah, but I definitely I visit, but as far as living, nope. And Florida is beautiful too. I had went to Orlando.
I love Florida. I've been to Orlando, Kissimmee. Shout out to my wife. We like going to the low spots like Fort Lauderdale, Kissimmee. I actually had a show in Fort Lauderdale. It was decent.
Yeah, but you just got to go during the springtime. I wouldn't go no summertime during hurricane season.
Right, yeah, just check the weather. I actually had a show in Tampa. I had to refund everybody their money back because I had COVID.
Oh wow!
Shout out to technology and the internet. You can't play with people's money.
No, you can't. You can't. So yeah, you said it. Thank God for technology.
Yeah.
All right. So as an artist to produce your tracks, would you rather prefer FL Studios or Pro Tools?
Basically, whatever sound the best, whatever track it is, long as the person who make the beat know how to use their weapon. Long as they know how to use Fruity Loops, no problem. Yeah. If they know how to use Pro Tools, no problem. Long as they know what they're doing, I'm cool. But if I'm making a beat myself, that's what you asking?
Yeah, or just in general. Because I know you can record on FL Studios, because I'm new to FL Studios myself. I just downloaded the software about a week or 2 weeks ago.
I think Pro Tools is more user friendly.
Okay.
That's what I would say.
Yeah. Because when me going to the studio and creating these demos with these different artists, it's like they have preference. It's like you see a lot of FL Studios and then you see a lot of Pro Tools.
Right.
Yeah, but it seems like FL Studios is cool because I like the presets they give you, and you can also purchase some templates too, or more presets. Like they got different artist presets too.
Right. What are some of the presets that you like from artists that you shopping around or demoing or using?
Because I haven't used the presets on mine just yet. Now, for the artists that did the demos, they just basically used the auto tune. I don't know what presets the engineer may have used, but I do know he was using some auto tune on some stuff just to make it sound great. Because the artist that demoed my first song, she did a phenomenal job. So he really didn't have to add too much to it, but I did see where he added a little just to kind of like, make it sound a certain way.
Right. And not to be prying too much. So do you plan to come out with like a compilation or a beat tape or you just cooking right now?
Yeah, I'm basically cooking right now. And then finna get ready soon put out some stuff.
Okay, that's what's up. I can't wait.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be worth it though. It's gonna be worth it because one thing about me is I want it to sound a certain way and I want it to be a certain way because I'm not just gonna put anything out there just to say, hey, that's what I put out. No, it's got to be great. It has to be awesome. But I am excited about it and looking forward to it.
Me too.
Yes, because I mean that's what I enjoy to do, writing, and then with producing. I didn't even think I was gonna do. I just thought I was just gonna stick with the writing. But at some point, you're gonna have to learn how to really, expand yourself. You can't just
Right.
limit yourself to just only write. You're gonna have to produce, and I'm glad I did it because I enjoy it.
Right. Oh, do you like writing in the phone or you writing in notebooks?
Well, I mostly like writing in the phone because I guess it's so convenient. Now, when I first got my start with writing, it was always in a notebook. But I
Right.
guess as technology got better, I just transitioned to the notebooks and the phone.
Right.
And then yeah,
I notice when I write in the phone, I could write faster. I don't even think about
that's so true. Yeah.
it.
And then you get to save it, and then it's with you. And then one thing I like is it's under your Apple ID. So God forbid you lose your phone or whatever, you got your notes in there. Once you get that new phone, you give them your Apple ID, you get all that stuff back.
Oh, okay, that's good.
So that's what I like is recovery. See, with a notebook and stuff, you can like lose those easily. So that might be the downfall.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but other than that, I love writing notes on my phone because, like I said, I write in the streets too. If I'm not at home writing, I come up with some ideas. I just write it down out in public.
Oh, okay, that's dope.
Yeah, but so yes, definitely, it's gonna be a lot of stuff coming out soon.
I'm checking for you.
Yes, most definitely. And then, so would you rather travel to Hawaii or the Bahamas?
I've never been to Hawaii. I've been to the Bahamas. I like the Bahamas, so I'm gonna say Hawaii.
Okay, yep. Yeah. I hear a lot of stuff about Hawaii too, but the great thing is you don't even need to worry about a passport.
Right, and it's expensive though.
Oh yeah, I can imagine. Because my dream is to take a cruise to Hawaii. Because I've been to the Bahamas too. It was nice.
Yeah, I
So,
just got back from a cruise. I like cruises.
oh okay, yeah, you had yeah, that was on your episode, vacation. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
that was a great episode, by the way, too.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I love how you included your wife up in that episode.
Right, I basically kind of interviewed her and then just kicked it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So have you all thought about adding her as your co-host?
I wouldn't even impose that on her because like my work ethic is different, and
Uh-huh.
you know I love her, but I respect her boundaries,
Oh yeah,
and she
yeah.
respect my boundaries. Not like she wouldn't do it,
Mm-hmm.
but like I'll be wanting to record all the time. She'll be like, I don't feel like doing it right now. Go ahead. You got this. You got this, babe. You got it. I'll do it if you want me to do it, but you got this. Go ahead.
Yes, because I mean that episode was just so great. It just came across my mind. Have you all thought about co-hosting together? But I think that would be so awesome though if you all did do that.
Oh
Because
man,
I was
thank you.
very entertained. No problem. I was very entertained watching that episode. And then y'all experience with y'all vacation.
Right. So it's a couple of podcasts that I like that got co-hosts, so I'm gonna
Uh-huh.
shout them out. I like Law Speaks.
Okay.
The host is Terrell Lawson, aka T Law.
Uh-huh.
So
Yep.
y'all check that out. And the Frocast.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
Okay.
That's a they're a married couple. Both
Oh,
shows
that's
are
good.
married couples and
Uh-huh.
everything. Yeah.
Well, that's good because that is a beautiful thing to see more married couples doing so much together.
Right.
Yep. Yep. So would you rather grub at Culver's or Chick-fil-A?
Oh man, you making it real hard. Um Culver's has good food.
Yeah, they do.
I've been going to Chick-fil-A since the 90s and I like Chick-fil-A. They even have good macaroni, but since okay, I'm gonna give it to Culver's because they got the custard.
Oh yeah.
That's the only reason.
Yeah, and that's real food. Then ain't gonna have you like McDonald's or
Exactly.
yeah, running all out you. That's why I can't eat McDonald's. I'm like, it's either gonna have to be Culver's or Chick-fil-A for me.
Yes.
Because it seemed like they done did so much to that stuff. But with Culver's, I love they fish sandwich. I
Man, you
got that.
better believe it.
Yeah, and then I don't know if they have a chicken sandwich there, but I do know they had a fish sandwich that was really
Man,
good.
it's a good cod sandwich.
Yeah, because that's pretty much all I eat is chicken and fish.
Right.
Yep. And now with Chick-fil-A, I mean, I like their food, but I don't be getting full. It's like I
Yeah. It's
gotta
getting
just
smaller and smaller.
right. I know, yeah. So it's like I got to get 2 meals just to get full. I had a chicken. I think I had a crispy chicken sandwich and some waffle fries. I went there hungry but left hungry, so you know something ain't right.
Right. That's just like going to the Chinese spot. I love me some rat cat and dog.
Yeah. I'm real simple with Chinese. All I do is just get my orange chicken and chow mein or rice.
I love pad noodles and spring rolls.
Oh, okay,
Duck
yeah.
pad thai noodles and spring rolls,
Mm-hmm.
preferably. Yeah.
Yeah, but pretty much I've been eating a lot of Panda Express. That's me and my mom's favorite spot.
Okay.
Yeah, I love their chow mein and I love their orange chicken.
Yeah, that, and we give it a different textural element.
Yeah, that's so true though. But then again, too, sometimes the portions might be different.
Yes, and that's the key.
Yep. All right. So last question. So would you rather own a Lamborghini or a McLaren?
Well, I would rather just take the money and diversify the money, invest it in multiple stocks. But I'll take the McLaren.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I mean Lamborghinis are nice. I mean, you do see them. I know I see them a lot up north. I see that.
Right.
But it's something about the McLaren that stand out.
Yeah. McLaren's scream class to me. Lamborghini scream, fast pace, flashy, up tempo. So.
And I love the fact that both of those doors just go right up.
Yes.
Yep. And then with the McLaren, because I'm sure you've seen that music video about the Weeknd Starboy.
Yeah, I seen
Yeah.
that.
So yeah, he owned that McLaren, and then he was one of the first artists I seen with that car. So that's why I'm like, that's a nice foreign car.
Yeah, it is.
And then yes, it was really nice too. And then I just happened to look up some videos about it.
Right. What you think about these electric cars? Not to get off topic.
Oh no, that's okay. The Teslas is okay. I mean, would I own one? No, because I guess I'm so used to gas. I'm not really used to electric, and it's only a limited amount of places you could go to really charge your car.
And it takes so long. Just think, you waiting 45 minutes to charge your car, and then somebody come rob you or knock you off or something.
That's what I'm saying. Well, you could just get gas and be gone within 5 minutes.
Exactly.
Yeah, but now that is a good investment too. I mean, even though you're going to pay more for those electric cars, that's because it's no gas, and then you don't even have to worry about an oil change.
Right. I think they could have came out with that technology because water is our number one power source.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, they just have to keep people in, We're not running out of no water in this lifetime. Now, I will get an electric car as soon as they start flying.
That I was just going to say that too, because I heard they do have some cars out that can fly.
It's coming.
Yep. Yeah, that'd be cool, but I think you may need an aviation license for that.
What I'm thinking is they got to figure out a way to tax you.
Right. Because you'll definitely get to your places extra early.
Yes.
And you getting to work within 5 minutes. You go from 30 minutes to 5 minutes.
Right. They gotta regulate. Once they find out a way to implement some type of control, they'll be out.
Yeah, definitely. But I think the more technology gets better, I think that those electric cars will run better.
Yeah, because it's clean.
Because it's like you got Teslas with electric cars, and I see that Hyundai and Volkswagen is coming out with electric cars.
Lexus, Cadillac.
Yep. So I would say probably by the next 10 years, mostly everything will be electric.
Man, I think maybe sooner than that.
Yeah,
I'm thinking
could
5. I'm thinking 5 if, we don't kill ourselves.
Exactly. Yeah, you never know though. You never know. I think it could be 5 years, but other than that, I don't think I would own one.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So, is there anything else you want to leave the listeners today?
Yes. It's an honor coming on this show. I love inspiring discussions. I'm honored to be a guest here. I love wrestling discussions as well. Follow me on Instagram at The Real Rodis. Check out my podcast, Rodis Live Podcast. Episodes drop every Friday at midnight. You could check out my podcast on all streaming platforms. You could get it a day earlier on rodisonline.net, www.rodesonline.net/podcast, and my Linktree /Rodis. I got the Rodis Live Podcast merch there. Yeah.
All righty. Well, thank you so much again for coming to the show. It was really appreciated. And then I really enjoyed you as my guest.
Thank you. Anytime.
Yes, and then just keep on coming out with more episodes, and pretty soon you'll have 200.
Yes. Thank you.
Yes, and I'll be looking forward to your new album too.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, all righty.
Peace.
Well, that's going to do it for Inspiring Discussions, Episode 6. I would like to thank my guest, Rodis, for stopping by today to discuss the importance of consistency. And I would also like to thank all of the listeners for tuning in as well. It really means a lot. And Episode 7 will be coming out soon, so please tune in. And if anyone is interested, I have some merchandise on my website, so please feel free to browse around, and I will leave the link in the description box. And I would gladly appreciate any comments or reviews on today's episode. And please subscribe to get notifications on new episodes. And also check out Wrestling Discussions, where I discuss WWE topics. And you all can follow me on Instagram at BlueShades1993, Twitter at AshleyJanae93, and Facebook by typing in Ashley Janae. And again, thank you all so much for tuning in. I'm your host, Ashley Janae.